Hello, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I was just thinking something that would be a really good idea to help unite the country and to make people think of why the United States is a constitutional republic. And I know it'll never happen, but I think it would be a great idea if the next seating of the Congress, the House of Representatives are all elected every 2 years. So theoretically, they could all be up and all be voted out of office. I know that would never happen, but it could. It is possible. The Senate, they're staggered on 6 year terms, and 1/3 of them are up every 2 years. But still, it would be nice if they would do it in both chambers. When they get seated in January with the 107th Congress or whatever they call it, they should have a reading of the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution, and do that from the preamble all the way to the end of the last amendment. And they could take turns, have each person, I'm sure they would get enough volunteers, but get enough volunteers where every person would read like one article, maybe one paragraph, one section, have somebody read one amendment, and maybe if there's a subsection, like in the 14th Amendment, there's different sections, have a different member of Congress read it and have it displayed on the giant screen in the floor of the House of Representatives, and have each one of them have a copy of the Constitution handed out to them, and make them think a little bit when they take their oath of office. Every elected and appointed official, from your local police officer to your sheriff to your state police troopers or officers, whatever you call them, all city police officers, the attorney general, every member of your state legislature, your governor, judges, and whatnot, all the way up to the president, and even people in the military, swear a very similar oath to uphold and defend the Constitution and protect it against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Now, back in the day when I joined the military as an enlisted man, and when I was a ROTC cadet and later as an officer, you take a similar oath. And when I was a deputy sheriff, later in life, I took that same oath too. But people need to be reminded of that. And we all knew who the foreign enemies were, the communists and whatnot, the big bad Russians, the Chinese, whatever, enemies of the United States, but never really thought much about the domestic ones. Well, we've got quite a few of them in the United States. We have some people who tend to have authoritarian, Marxist, fascist, or other statist, oppressive tendencies. And the Constitution was put there not to tell the people what we can do, but it was put there to tell the government what it may not do to us. So anyway, maybe I'm going to sound like a wacko or something, but I just think that would be a really cool thing to do. Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, whatever they want to call themselves, have each person read some of that while everybody else is watching. Put it on C-SPAN. Maybe let the public see it. And it's not a partisan thing. That way people could say, wait a minute, we're going to do this X law, and then say, wait a minute, does this comport with the Constitution or does it not? And, especially with the Bill of Rights and the 10th Amendment. Those haven't been repealed yet, folks. So just something to think about that might unite this country in our divided times. I think there are certain special interests who want to keep us divided, but once you get outside of the capital of D.C. and you get out into flyover country, you begin to realize that the United States is more than about Washington, D.C. They got some pretty monuments in the White House and all that, but the people out in flyover country are what make the difference. And being an American living overseas right now, I love it here in Germany. It's nice, but it will be nice. I'm coming home. I'll be home in the States for 2 weeks, the very end of the month. So I'm looking forward to that. I love it here, but there's no place like home. And I love my German brothers and sisters. I've met a lot of nice people over here. And they have their way of doing things in their government, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I'm trying to learn a little bit about their system. It's different than ours, but there are some similarities as well. But anyway, I'm just speaking strictly as a U.S. citizen from the United States and our Constitution, which is quite unique. I think they should read that. Hand out a copy and have each member read. I don't think it would take that long. I really don't. They could, I would say with everybody doing it, they could probably get it done in about an hour, hour and a half. If they just read, no commentary, just read the part that you're supposed to read. I think they could do it in about an hour and a half. And I think it would be pretty cool for people watching it. Anyway, sorry to ramble. That's just my 2 cents on this Sunday evening. Cheers.